Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, humans and aliens, welcome to the Big on Security podcast. In partnership with Get Licensed, the UK's #1 for security training, vocational course training, personal licenses. Get working with Get Licensed at getlicensed.co.uk. So we're here to talk about security because security is a big deal for you and for me and the entire human race. Yes. Let me introduce you to my co-host for today. I'm going to lift up my glass. I'm going to lift up my cup to my brother, Yargs. Boop, 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 boop. You done it already. You have no manners. You're supposed to wait till later.
Sometimes you just gotta go.
You see my thing?
Exactly.
You see my thing? That's my thing. Thank you for coming on the show, my brother.
Pleasure to be here.
For those of you who don't know, I am Henji. Yes, it is what you're thinking, and you're right. And that's it. So, a podcast about security, bro. How long has this been needed?
I was just speaking to someone about this.
No, you weren't. Don't do that. Why do people do that?
No.
How come everyone's always just speaking to someone about something?
Are you going to answer this?
Sorry. I'm sorry.
I appreciate that. I was speaking to someone about this the other day. It's so important because there's so much knowledge to be shared.
Facts.
That the course itself does not prepare you for.
Listen. Let me tell you something.
Understood.
Can the SIA get in touch with some of us, man? Can the SIA get in touch with some of us, man, about the actual course so that we can tell some real truths on that course about how people behave? Anyway, do you know what? Let's start from the very beginning. Is there a need for security? It sounds so simple and so basic. Is there a need for security?
Absolutely.
That's the answer. So let's move on to the next question.
Absolutely.
Who is responsible for a part of me wants to say the seriousness or the level of security. Like how do you determine how heavy security should be?
I think it all depends on the situation, where you are, who you're with, the possible people coming, the possible people there. I think the spectrum for that is so wide.
I disagree.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. And I'll tell you why. I disagree because we need security all the time. There's no time when we might have to, different people might get to choose how much security you need. Say for instance, you're at home, locking your front door and putting extra chains on it, that's security.
Facts.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Putting the steering wheel lock on your car, that's security.
Facts.
So most people, when they hear security, they're just thinking about getting into a club or into a function or bodyguards. But actually, security is an everyday issue. I'd actually feel more comfortable, as crazy as this sounds. I went, when the schools opened up a little bit and I took my daughter back to school, I was happy to see that they had security at the school.
Right.
Because I needed to make sure that the other parents with their little bad youths were maintaining the 2 meter distance. And like if your youth's coughing, we can turf you. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Definitely.
So I'm really under the impression, and just from life experience, security is an everyday thing for everybody. It is now part of the fabric of our society.
I have to agree. I was hoping
that's gonna happen a lot. Hold on 1 second. Big up myself.
No.
1 second. No. I shoot my own gun because I was right.
I was hoping you was gonna say something I could contradict, but
thank you.
You know, in when you put it in that way, it's definitely true.
I realize people don't realize security is almost invisible to some people. So maybe because I'm in the industry, I see security when I'm in a supermarket, when I'm in a car park, when I go into it. Okay, maybe I notice them when I go into shops because they try to follow me, which is a bad idea. But I'm just saying in general, they're everywhere commercially.
Right.
But people never, or people undervalue or underestimate the need for, people don't know, houses never used to have gates. Mm-hmm. People don't realize that gates are a form of security.
Right.
Do you understand what I'm saying? So no one can just walk on, like this is a separation that tells you can't just come on here.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The same for front doors and doorbells. Back in the day, the huts used to have, no one had doors.
Yeah, and even in the Caribbean, and I'm sure in Africa, sometimes the doors are just left wide open.
Exactly.
So it definitely has changed,
bro.
Even in those third world countries now, you see gated
you see big walls. You see walls with broken glass on it and dogs.
Yeah.
And a little,
by any means necessary.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah. Because man will jump over the wall and take your things if you have things to be taken. So, all right, it's clear that security is a part of everyday life. And it's clear that it's unavoidable. Now, what's not clear is how do we value them? I've seen you work. I've seen what you do. I'd if someone said to me, how much should I pay him? I'd say, I'll eat.
Well, first of all, I appreciate that.
No, because
they understand. I appreciate that.
No, for real. For people who don't understand what I'll eat means, is give them all your money. Okay, I'm not from the Caribbean. I just like to speak like them because they're my brothers. Okay, and every once in a while you hear me talk like this as well, geezer, because they're my brothers too. Do you know what I mean? Big up men like Danny, sweet. Big up men like Robbo, sweet. Hey. Yeah, but how do we value? Okay, for those of you who don't know, I'm an international bodyguard and I'm expensive. And that's how I introduce myself to people because it's true. The value of my skill set, my expertise, and my CV also helps me dictate that. But we'll come on to close protection and bodyguarding in a second. I feel like we probably have to separate that from maybe regular. For my brothers in the industry, I'm not saying you're regular. I'm saying the level of your security function is a little bit different to mine. So for lack of a better word at the moment, regular security, we're talking about venues, locations, and the rest. I'm finding out some crazy stuff about what they're being paid.
Bro.
We're not going to get political now and talk about an influx of migrants who are willing to do it for cheap, because in this country, if we can identify that we have a minimum wage, which we believe everyone should be able to earn because of a certain age or skill set, I think the security industry is run by the SIA. There should be a minimum payment that you can receive for risking your safety. I'm not going to say life yet, because that's probably at my level. But a lot of security guys are injured or die.
To intervene with that, it's not only at your level, because in clubs, the security on the doors are getting stabbed, they're getting shot, they're getting murdered. So it is, once you're in the security industry, even in retail,
yeah,
even in retail, it's dangerous. So you can never really.
So a few years ago, I mean, I'm still, every year I celebrate the anniversary of my 23rd birthday, but a few years ago when I was actually 23 or less, security never had to wear so much body armor. Now you actually,
it's imperative.
It is part of your.
For me myself, just for my team. If they come to work without body armor,
go home.
I'd rather
I'm sending you home.
Be a man down. 100%.
Yeah,
I'll be a man down and send you home, because one, I have to protect myself and the company, and more importantly, I have to protect your life, because you have a family, you may have kids or what.
Thought it was smart to come out without a tiny little thing that could. Listen, let me tell you something.
It blows my mind.
Bulletproof vests are not cheap. We'll probably have another episode where we talk about the different ways in which we protect ourselves. Bulletproof vests are not cheap. Stab-proof vests aren't cheap either, but they're much cheaper compared to bulletproof vests. Bulletproof vests and stab-proof vests combined are ridiculous. but it's a necessity just to go to work.
It's an investment for your life. It definitely is.
Let me balance that out. On the flip side, the level of people not following the rules and tomfoolery is what gives us work. So,
Right.
I'm just saying the type of violence is so exaggerated now. And it's so quick.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying? You know, back in the day, maybe I don't, you know, people comment below, let me know what you think. For those people who get to watch this. People used to push each other first.
I was gonna say a little shoulder.
Yeah.
Give you a
Well,
little
what you
shoulder.
say? You hit me first. You hit me first.
No. Now it's a look.
Yeah, do you understand what I'm saying? Now it's just, you look and someone's getting stomped out or someone's pulled something out of somewhere and I'm just like, the job is now risk heavy. Like personal safety, security, this personal safety of security professionals is very risk heavy. But companies, and yes, I want you companies to feel uncomfortable about this, companies are paying £10 or less per hour. Do you understand what I'm saying? Some of you don't know this. Behind the camera is a really good man dem, and we're gonna, for the purposes of this podcast, we're gonna call him the good bad voice, because sometimes he's a good voice and sometimes he's a bad voice. But I love him same way. But good bad voice, £10 an hour.
Oh, you want me to speak?
Family.
Okay, cool. That's ridiculous, bro.
Okay, he just said that's ridiculous. Right now, he's a good voice.
Just on your perspective on it, why is it ridiculous?
Just based on, and I don't know if they can hear me, obviously we're not might talk about this, based on everything you both have said in terms of the risk
Yeah.
facing your lives.
Right.
And of course that's dependent on location and venue.
Yeah.
However, it's still a risk nonetheless.
Facts.
Do you get what I'm saying to you? When it comes to health and safety policies, they don't class it based on where your location is.
Right.
Do you understand?
Do you know what I mean? It's a risk in it. So £10 an hour is almost like saying that's what your life is valued for the time that you're there.
Let me stop you right there. Don't, fam. This is first of all, bucket. Yeah.
I mean, it's
you know what I mean? No, we're there. So I'm gonna not get you to speak for a little while because don't say my points. Thank you, because it's not your show. But what a valuable add-on. So I'm not gonna tell you who, but a UK rapper once said to me that I should give him a discount, and the discount would. I think the person wanted to pay me a daily rate of £150. Now on a 10-hour day, that's £15 an hour. This is a real life story. And first of all, if you're going to talk to me about money and I look at your footwear and you're wearing YSL trainers or Dior trainers, or this isn't a way for people to market themselves. This is me.
Right.
If you're going to spend 700 plus on what you're going to use to step on the dirty pavement, but you want to pay me £150 a day.
Maybe once.
Yeah.
Maybe once.
Maybe once. You want to pay me £150 a day to keep you safe.
To keep them trainers on your feet.
To keep someone from taking your trainers, your watch, your bust down,
maybe your life.
chain, maybe your life. Or even if they don't take your life, your integrity,
Yeah.
your branding,
Reputation, everything.
Should I slap you?
No comment.
Now, guys, we don't promote violence, so I wouldn't slap anybody unless I was being paid to protect someone and I didn't have a choice. But on a 10-hour day, let me get back to my point. On a 10-hour day, that would be £15 an hour, right? Cool. This is what I said. You are an award-winning musician. Over the next 16 minutes, are you telling me that the value of your life is £15?
That was pretty good.
Did you like that?
Wait.
Go ahead.
Wait.
Go ahead.
Absolutely. No, I'm actually going to take a sip for that.
Yeah, okay. See, I'm with you.
I'm gonna have to take these.
Maybe a chair? Maybe a chair?
Yeah. Do you know what?
That was good.
You can't. If you take this gun away, I'm gonna bring a bigger gun next week. Okay. No, hear what I'm saying, and then it gets better. By the way, you're gonna be proud of me for this. I then followed up by saying, I now risk my life to protect yours.
Right.
Which means there are 2 lives at risk.
Right. Do you want to borrow it?
So you're telling me that both our lives are worth £15 over the next hour?
Or £7.50.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
If you separate them. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Go ahead. Yeah.
So my question.
You might have to speak a bit louder.
My question off cam is, when you're dealing with overpriced and overvalued celebrities, and like you know what they're making, is it them or is it their team that's sabotaging the value of the security?
Man, why come with them? Really, that's really good, by the way. That's really good. Thank you. Now you're being a good bad voice.
Notes.
Yeah. Do you have notes? Did you come prepared? Oh, it's a little bit technical. So sometimes it's not the art. For instance, there are artists that are so big, they won't book me themselves. Management might do it. PR might do it. Maybe if they're dealing, say for instance, they're going to a brand meeting or a brand deal, something they've agreed contractually with someone else, the company might phone and try and book me for them, just to shore it up and whatever. Whoever is paying is my client. A lot of people don't get this. So for instance, if I call any names now, I am in no way affiliated with any of these companies. This is just an example. I don't want no lawsuits because I ain't got no money. You get nothing. Yeah, that's why.
You can use mine.
Yeah.
You can use mine.
Yeah. Okay.
That's enough.
2 options. One is
It's safer.
Okay.
It's safer.
All right, I'm gonna use his company because that's safer. So if Entrapped Security,
Sounds like entrapment, man.
yeah, it sounds like entrapment. That was good. That was good. Yeah, you're setting me up.
Entrap Protection Group.
Yeah. Okay, well done. Entrap Protection Group. Now I'll drink to that. I big up people that own their own businesses. The young men are moving forward.
Appreciate that.
So if EPG,
I like that.
if EPG hired me to look after the good bad voice,
Right.
EPG is my client, not the good bad voice. The good bad voice is my principal. So that's the person I look after. My client is EPG. So I'm not gonna worry, I'm not gonna disturb GBV, good bad voice, about money issues, because you didn't book me. EPG booked me. So I'm gonna talk to you about money. Oh, I've seen some stuff. Okay. So what would normally happen, a company as good as EPG, as respectable and reputable as EPG,
Keep going.
would just forward me the money because they have manners. Okay. But when you're dealing with individuals who are playing that role, what often happens is, and I'm not calling anyone out, but people do things like this. There's a budget available.
Okay, because I was going to ask you a question, but let me see where this.
There's a budget available. And they think to themselves, rah, if I can find a little shorter price, I can pocket the rest of the budget. Because a lot of people know that security is not a joke. I don't think anyone that sits down to
Do you
think
actually
about
think that though? Seriously?
I think that.
I think that from a business perspective. I don't think that from the general public perspective. I think the general public's perception of security isn't serious enough. They don't value it enough. The security role has never been treated as serious or essential or no, what's the right word? I don't want to say glamorized. It's never been treated as a necessity.
Right.
For instance, people campaign. I'm one of the people that campaign.
Overfull.
Yeah, it's an afterthought.
Yeah.
It's only when something goes wrong.
Yeah.
The football man are gonna like this.
It's always
It's a serious Lawrence Abue situation. His name Lawrence. Anyway, Abue that used to play for Arsenal, Makaleli and Essien that used to play for Chelsea, and whoever else. No one notices them when everything's going well, but the day they make a mistake is when you're like, "Wow, what's happening in that position? What's wrong with my man?" No one cares about security when everything's fine.
But that's why.
But when it goes wrong, yeah, but that's what I'm saying. But it's not the general public.
Because the client sometimes tries to opt out for the cheaper option.
Who are a good bad voice wants to say something, but before that, who are the people? Who are the people who represent the security industry?
Us.
No. I reject that.
What do you mean?
Who are the people who represent musicians?
I'm lost.
Fans. Labels.
PR companies.
I see the going.
A musician doesn't wake up and say, "Oh, all right, the internet's changing things a little bit because some of these men are crazy." But in general, a musician doesn't wake up and go, "Oh, I'm going to go and do this and that with this brand and that brand, and I'm going to wear these clothes and take that picture in this location." Someone plans it out for them.
Right.
Okay? I'm telling you what I've seen and what I know. There's a PR team that's paid a lot of money that strategically places them at the right place, wearing the right thing. Yeah. So therefore, a certain type of artist representing a certain type of label, who promotes a certain type of social thought or whatever.
Yeah.
All their pictures and their representation in the media will be consistent with that. Mm-hmm. The sport of football is very consistent in its. They try to be inclusive, youth. They're doing the big fight against racism. We all know that there's the hooligan aspect that we've accepted because even the media portrays it like, oh, the Red Lions lads and whatever. And like everything has a way of being viewed. How is security viewed in the media? We are not. That's the answer. We're not. Until something's gone wrong, we are not. And that for me is the big. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So, and that's regular security. So say bodyguards. Bodyguards are treated a little bit more specially because they're dealing with, you know why bodyguards are treated better? Because of who they're looking after, not because of the bodyguard.
Right.
So, Justin Bieber, Beyonce. Hey, big up Julius if you ever watch this. Me and you know, dog.
Big homie.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Me and you, brother. But anyway, moving on. I've met a lot of great guys. I could start saying names, but it's unfair, and you might need to pay me. But these guys are amazing, and the guys in the industry respect them for their skill level. Like me, there's a man that I'll be like, you are hard because, pause for all the immature guys. Let's go again. There's men in the industry that are really good at their jobs, and I'd accept that and I'd rate them because I know how difficult it is. Other people rate them because of who they're looking after.
Yeah.
So some people have treated me they hear, oh, what does he do? He's in security. I love when people say that. Oh, he's in security. He's in security. And I'm like, oh, who does he look after? And then like, oh, well, actually, he's worked with Prince, Naomi Campbell, Wizkid, X, Y, and Z. You know, I could keep going.
You could.
And then, hey, I could. It's a long list. And then they're like, oh my God, really? No, well, you can't be my friend. It's too late.
Yeah.
It's too late.
That.
Do you understand what I'm saying? You should have been excited because I worked in an industry where I put my life at risk.
Yeah. And I save yours.
So, do you understand what I'm saying?
100%.
So how do we change the perception of how valuable we are is my question. How do people now, because look, people are oh my God, people spend money. And I'm talking about companies and artists, and I'm gonna let Yogs talk because I'm gonna start saying some bad words. I've seen people spend money on bottles.
Yeah, cases, bro.
Brother.
Cases and bottles ain't cheap in the club.
I've seen people spend money on belts, shoes, bag, gal, man, flights. But we're talking about the reassurance that you will be safe. Someone's willingness to take a hit for you. That's like, do you know what that's like? Real life insurance.
Yeah.
That's human insurance. What we are is, did you like that? Hey, the good bad voice, like, hey, boss.
I was reaching for it.
Real life insurance.
We are human insurance.
Absolutely. I like that.
Do you understand what I'm saying? So I'm just like, how can we get...
You might see that on my Instagram later. No, I'm being honest.
No, real talk. Follow his Instagram. It will be up or spoken about at some point. But no, how do we change that? And for people watching this is a serious thing, because you guys, even at clubs, even at festivals, you all want to, sometimes people have it in their mind that they're already going to disrespect security when they get there. Yeah, you know there's a dress code. You ain't got the dress code.
Wait,
talk about it. All right, I'm going to let him speak. I'm going to start saying too much truth.
And it's funny you brought this up, because I was trying to explain to some guys that was in security, and it's like the moment they get their DS badge, it's like they automatically believe they're like immortal. Like, I am him. I am him.
As the Africans say, we have arrived.
And I'm like, bro, just because you have your badge, you have to understand, what am I allowed to not say?
Yeah. What can I not do?
Do you understand?
Fact, you know what? Oh my God.
Guys come to the club not liking security before they get there.
And you know what? It's not even security there. It's the guys. So say, for instance, this anyone that's kind of like 25 for a few years like me will remember when shoes weren't a thing.
Yeah.
And if you had to wear shoes to get into a club, man would be like, is it a shoes thing? And they'd be like, oh, I can't come. But then some man will be like, yeah, I'll come in. Not have shoes and have it in their mind that they're going to argue and fight with security.
Yeah, I'm coming in.
Do you understand? Man be like, I'm coming in.
I've been there, like I've been him. So I understand. I've been on both spectrums. So true. Forgive me.
Have I been him? I can't say that. I'm not going to incriminate myself.
No comment.
But I've definitely seen it.
Yeah.
Now, when you leave home with the mindset that you're going to get into something with security, why have you're in the wrong.
Right.
You're choosing to disrespect, man. And you want to take it to a level of violence.
Yeah, but I came here ready for that.
Over shoes.
Yeah. And so, it's unfortunate that it's like that, because once you do have the right approach with them and you build a rapport, it's understandable and they respect it.
I tell you what's funny, huh? Just to quickly go back to what you said about when people finally get their badges, they don't realize that badge limits you. Mm-hmm. See, because of that badge, there is now a company, a body that will regulate every single action you do. Whereas if you didn't have that badge, you could just be like, I was responding to this guy because he was being an a-hole. But now you've got that badge on you and you're working, actually, the way you respond can now be used against you as evidence.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I don't know how or what we have to do for the general public. You have to put some respect on the thing. Okay, I'm not saying respect because this isn't a joke. It's respect. R-E-S-P-E-C-T.
Add the T.
T.
Yeah.
Security deserves way more, because the minute there's a fight, oh my God, get security. Oh, guys, I'm going to tell you something. I was in a dance. I'm not going to tell you where. I was in a dance and I personally searched everybody. I found out that the only person I didn't search is the person who booked me. Now, this is crazy, because I'm not going to search the man who's booking me, because it's your thing. I wouldn't expect you to be so stupid.
I don't believe in that. I don't believe in that.
But I learned my lesson. That was the first and the last time I'd ever do that. So I'm the kind of man, I search photographers. Don't come because you turn over the camera. Oh, you come with a DJ bag, I'm looking in your DJ bag. And I know you man hate me, but it makes me feel safe and it makes me feel confident.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anyway, 2 hours into the dance, everyone's running out screaming, oh my God. And it's always a little bit worse how women scream sometimes, it is what it is. Oh my God, he's got a gun, boom, boom, boom. I'm like, whoever he is can't have a gun because I searched everybody.
Right.
I've run inside. As I've turned, the way it was, I've had to turn a corner and there's a guy standing there with a gun to my face because he just had the gun out. And it's like, what are you going to do, big man?
That's what he said to you?
Yes. Okay, first of all, I'm gonna take a 30-second diversion, guys.
What did you do?
I'm gonna take a 30-second diversion. Guys, if you see a gun, run. Say sorry. Whatever you do not do what I'm about to say.
Do you run in a straight line?
Run in a zigzag. Okay. Yeah, run in a zigzag.
Some people just running.
Anyway, because of who it was, I was actually at the point of the gun being in my face, I was really angry. I was like, what is wrong with you? I was like, this is a really small venue. If you accidentally let that off, you're killing at least 3 people. I was like, I'm going outside and I'm going to phone the police. And you're going to jail. You're going to go to jail.
Going to jail.
And I said to him, in this country, it's 5 years for possession alone.
Yeah.
That's not even including the ammunition.
Yeah.
So this is what you must never do, guys. Never turn your back on any weapon. Walk backwards. And I knew that, but maybe the situation got the better of me. I turned around and I walked ever so slowly. I'll never forget this. And I was saying the Lord's Prayer and I walked away like some idiot because I would have just been shot praying. So I was walking away and I was like, Lord, this isn't the plan. Anyway, I'm still here, so he didn't shoot me. But that scenario made me realize some people just don't care.
Yeah.
So knowing that kind of thing may happen, we need to make sure that the security professionals are properly compensated.
Absolutely. I mean, just a couple of weekends ago, I was asked to do a dance for 800 people. They wanted 4 security.
No.
See, I'm not even going.
I'm not
even good at maths.
you don't even need to be. How about that? How about that? You don't need to be.
That doesn't. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Did you say no?
What do you think I said? I had to say no
My
because
first question is, do you mean 40?
it doesn't make sense. The calculations doesn't make sense.
Even me not knowing anything about your industry, I'm getting a little bit offended now. It's like, what do you care about?
Do you want me to die? Do you want me to die?
I feel like the only reason security is booked is to avoid because
that the council will let
you cannot have an event without security.
People do that all the time. They're like, oh yeah, I'd like to have a festival, please. How many people are you having? 20,000 people. Could you bring me 15 security?
Yeah.
No, I cannot. Go home. Okay, so look, we're gonna round this up like this. Before you leave your house and go anywhere, don't disrespect the man or the woman that's doing the security, or women you're really needed in security. We'll talk about that in another episode. Don't disrespect whoever's doing security, because should you need them, you're almost, first of all, you're a hypocrite, but how do you, how do you go to the person you've already tried to diss? Do you understand what I'm saying?
And not only that, security, I mean, for the people that are in security for the passion and the love of it and going into CP and stuff, security isn't when I get to work.
Oh my God, don't do this. We don't have the time. We don't have the, stop. I'm going to have to stop. You see what he just said there? I've got 2 hours. No.
Hey, get the gun. Get the gun.
One second, let me.
Reload.
You're going to have to tune into the next episode because we've got loads to talk about. Remember who we are, the Big On Security podcast. You're going to find our Insta here or there or somewhere here.
Man's a YouTuber.
And every other thing that you need to follow us on. Thank you for spending time with us. Come back next week. We talk about security because it is a big deal for you and for me and the entire human race.